Don't put your eggs in one basket. It's a business proverb that has been highlighted by successful people across history. It is never wise to place all your resources into any one thing. But before irresponsibly investing in all sorts of things, you need to know that there is a right way of taking these steps toward your goal of reaching the top. Welcome to Bear Luxury, where you find inspiration and guidance for your journey toward becoming the next billionaire. Today, we'll look into the things you need to do or develop before venturing out to having multiple income streams. Now, let's say you manage to secure a ton of goods for what's forecast to be the worst recession to ever hit your country. You might think that dividing them up into multiple storage houses within your property is a sound idea to reduce the risk of them being damaged, stolen, or destroyed in a fire. After all, if a fire breaks out on one of your properties, you still have others to keep you through the recession. But if you really look into it, you'd have to spend more resources building multiple storage houses, their maintenance, and even security. Having different places to guard means you'll have a considerable amount of time away from other areas when you're at a specific one. Less maintenance may also cause more fire hazards, rodent damage, and even threats from the elements. Not to mention the amount of time you'd waste going from one place to the other. Rather than going through all these hassles, build one storage house large enough to keep all of your provisions. This will make it easier to keep track of and secure. You could also make plans in case bad things happen. That way, if something does happen, you'd only have one spot to focus on, which will save you time, resources, and effort. Once you have it all sorted out, then you can focus on other aspects of your prepping. In our case, different income streams. You need to secure one first before venturing into another. There are multiple stages of making money that can help you understand this further. The first stage, reaching $100,000 a year. This is a stage that the majority of the populace only manages to reach, and the majority of people believe that having several different sources of income can help you reach a six-figure salary. Though possible, it isn't entirely true. You see, it is common knowledge among the rich that it takes the same amount of work, time, and effort to make $100,000 as it would take you to make millions. It is logically impossible to make more money simply by working harder on extra hours. You only have a finite amount of resources you can use for your journey toward financial success. That being said, there is no relationship between input volume and output. The only way to elevate your money-making game is by developing scalability and growth in order for you to realize your maximum potential. Therefore, it's safer to concentrate on mastering just one task for your first $100,000 in a year in order to get bigger returns in the future. There are three main income streams you could choose from for your first venture: having a job, becoming an independent contractor, and lastly, building a business. You can achieve any of these in varied degrees of difficulty to reach the target $100,000 per year. For a job that implies moving up the corporate ladder to an executive position where your responsibilities are matched with your annual income. As an independent contractor, it entails better clientele and increases in the prices of goods and services. And for business, it's organizing and scaling up for higher profit margins. Your goal in life is not just surviving, but thriving. If you're currently making ends meet, you can't ascend from that detriment by simply multiplying the number of jobs you have. It's actually counterproductive. It might even cost you more in the long run. And where do we even start with business? You should know that it takes a significant amount of resources as reserves to even start a single business. That means it is impractical to start multiple businesses at the same time. Of these three types of income streams, which one do you think you would want to look more into? Tell us your plans to conquer that income stream and get connected to like-minded people down in the comment section. So, why the talk of multiple income streams if it's all too hard to start anyway? Are you even allowed to consider it? If so, when? There's no sure way to tell, but if you manage to reach $1 million, that's a pretty solid position to start from. You can start considering adding more income streams when any of those categories puts you in a position where you can consistently earn six figures each year. Though there's one crucial step you must take first. Automate your primary source of income. Starting new ones is pointless if the first one still consumes 8 to 10 hours of your day. You must figure out a means to continue earning money while becoming less involved. Having a job is a bit of a special case due to the way it is structured. Being a contractor or building a business is more scalable, however. So if you work as an independent contractor, you see, you'll need to hire more staff and acquire more clients. And as a business owner, you need to assemble a team that can handle matters internally as you venture out and create new revenue sources, either by the company's own goods and services or via a different company. The crucial point to keep in mind is that you should not engage in a new revenue stream if you can't automate your current one first. There are some, however, that manage to combine these categories together. A job and a business, a job and being an independent contractor owning a business, and there are even some that manage to combine all three together. These are the basics of securing and generating income streams, and it's basically the same on all other stages of generating money. Real estate is the lone exception to this guideline, however. You raise the down payment, you secure housing, and you collect rent. It does not involve you staying after the transaction has been done. However, it can be years before that location is profitable. It is initially an investment and afterwards a source of income. That leads us to the question, are investments considered as assets too? When you have a sizable amount of time and money, investment might be a source of income. If nothing unexpected happens, the typical annual return on stocks is 13.8%. For instance, if you sold stocks now, you would lose money because a recession is imminent and most stocks will drop significantly. But even if nothing happens and the stocks you put into your money become profitable, 13.8% is too little to make you think you're all good, even after retirement, especially if you just brought a measly amount into the said stocks. You need a considerable amount to even make it worth your while, since a typical investment on stocks might not even give you positive returns for years, even decades. But don't shun investments altogether. It's free money after all. And if you're smart with it, it's better to invest than leave your hard-earned cash depreciating inside banks. Find blue chip stocks and invest in them. They're pretty much recession-proof. We know. A lot of ideas are running through your mind right now, but our advice is for you to master any specialties or interests you might have right now before anything else. Build a solid foundation, stack your tower high, and look for ways to venture from that hard-earned vantage point. You can't genuinely juggle too many vital things at once, since you only have a certain amount of mental energy, and through our experience, it runs out pretty fast when mismanaged. You can start thinking about creating an additional income stream once you discover your thing, that it manages to support your daily needs and have sufficient mental energy. Remember that you must invest as much time and energy into this second source of revenue just as you did with the first. Master your craft first, because spreading yourself too thin can ultimately cause you to do everything half-heartedly, since you won't have enough time or energy and motivation. That's all for today. Remember to always be strategic in all your endeavors, especially in your journeys toward financial success. There's nothing a sound mind can conquer, and yes, that includes all your current and very temporary challenges. If you want to find out more ways to reach the top, leave a like, follow our channel Bear Luxury, and hit that notification button so you won't miss anything.